In this video, I will show you how to count cells that are not blank in Excel like this using 3 different methods. So let's get started. Here in this Excel sheet, I have some data. Some of the cells here contain the data while other cells are blank. Now I want to count all the cells that are not blank in this sheet. To do that, we can use the COUNTA function. The COUNTA function counts the number of cells that are not empty in the given range. This function counts the cell containing text, numbers, errors, logical values, and even empty text. Let's type an equal sign to start the formula. Now type COUNTA and then an opening bracket. Select the range of the cells as the function argument. Type the closing bracket and hit the enter key to complete the formula. As you can see, we now have the count of the non-blank cells in the given range. Here, the cell B4 contains a space character, so it is counted as a non-blank cell. The cell B7 contains a formula that returns an empty text, so it is too technically not empty and thus counted by the COUNTA function. We can also use the COUNTIF function to count the non-empty cells. We need to select the range of the cells as the first argument and not equal to as the second argument of the COUNTIF function like this to count the non-empty cells in the range. Even though the COUNTIFs function is meant for counting cells that match multiple criteria, we can use it instead of the COUNTIF function with a single condition like this to count the cells that are not blank. However, the COUNTIFs function is really useful when we have multiple criteria. For example, this formula counts cells that are not blank in the orders column when the cell value in the items column is item 1. We can use the SUMPRODUCT function to count the cells that are not empty. Here is the formula to do that. Here, this part of the formula checks for the cells that are not empty by comparing them with an empty string. It returns an array of 5 elements containing true, true, false, false, and true. The true value is returned for the cell that is not empty, and the false value is returned when the cell is empty in the given range. For the SUMPRODUCT function to work, we need to convert these true and false values to 1 and 0 respectively. We can do that by applying the double negative minus minus. After applying the double negative, we get an array of 5 elements containing 1, 1, 0, 0, and 1. Finally, the SUMPRODUCT function sums up the array elements and the result of that is 3. As you may have observed, this method treats the cell containing a formula that returns an empty text as a blank cell. The first and second methods using the COUNTA and COUNTIF functions respectively treated the same cell as non-empty. You can use any of these 3 methods according to your needs to count the non-blank cells. Watch these videos to learn more Excel tips, tricks, and how-to tutorials. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel.